Welcome everyone, status update live here of our Linux distribution. It only says no live, I hope we're already live. T2, just our raw Linux. Most stuff builds, we are, I think, targeting currently 24 architectures. And most stuff builds, I had some last minute fixes, including AVR32 stuff that obviously nobody uses anymore. Also 486, I quirked Rust to link with libatomic for i486. All the stuff already committed. Most stuff built, except there are also I canceled some builds. We can actually, did I do that here? Most stuff builds, we have here some, I disabled the standard keyboard layout and repeat rate setting because that kernel oops Spark 64 at least on what I forgot, Ultra 5, not sure, Ultra 30, and Hewlett Packard Precision Architecture, visualize whatever we had, Linux kernel, single address space, monolithic stuff. We have some build errors, as you can at times see here. This is massively scrolling by stuff, although most stuff also builds. The question is, yeah, how much time to put in some things. We can actually, by the way, quickly see build all builds var adm logs. We could also run the create error list, but logs error is of course faster. Also, we can continue I also eventually, so this is a known thing, MIP64, ironically our own impact driver. Need to update this, I didn't make a release yet. And also theoretically you want to share, like and subscribe, YouTube membership, Patreon, GoFundMe, whatever you fancy, because we have so much stuff to burn our time on, including P3, right? I have it here, thumbnail. Impact, of course, we improved already. It has a hardware cursor now. Very theoretically, someone gave me some tips for mode setting. Mode setting is complicated. Theoretically, we can do that. The iRigs driver, of course, could do it. And I burned already way too much time, like a year ago or 18 months ago or so, or a long time ago, a pandemic ago. I burned a whole weekend of surely easily 20 hours on, as crazy simple as it sounds, the palette. For the name of God, I couldn't modify the freaking color palette, so we can change the shape of the SGI impact cursor, but not the colors on. And it is crazy. It is crazy that I burned 20 freaking hours on these bloody colors. So it is the default colors that the SGI arcs prom set. That is, I think, red and white. It looks a little bit alien, but it looks SGI. It is settable. I know it is settable. The XSGI Xorg server on iRigs somehow sets it, and I think from the disassembly of the arcs prom, the arcs prom also set this to the default red and white. So it is settable. Just in 20 hours I couldn't. I replicated of what I saw in disassemblies and reverse engineering. It's super freaking glitchy and complicated, and yeah. So Patreon and GitHub and stuff. And if you ever want to see the cursor colors change on an Xorg impact driver. So did I touch the logs? So we could, that would be manually continuing that. So I also have to rush, my wife is already waiting. As per usual, what is real life when you can build a Linux distribution? What is the other? Also, what is that? That WebKit. Okay, some WebKit GTK is failing for some architecture. That is, of course, not super amazing. And for x86, Firefox is failing. The question is, so for x86, I said this in the previous live stream, I switched from Pentium, I think, yeah, to 486. We had to patch, that is upstream of all our stuff we do upstream in Rust. We patched that for 486 and while at 386. Although some patch is missing, I probably should send the second half also upstream again, of merge conflict and stuff. The question is now, I patched rustc to link on 486. I already tested that today. Dedication is endless, right? I tested that to actually work with, at least on this Ryzen. Theoretically, we could do this with QEMU, PCM, or a real 486, that it actually really works on 486. But at least the resulting code does not segmentation fault, otherwise error out on running 486 Rust. If you ever wanted to run native Rust compiler on 486. But the crazy thing is now Firefox doesn't build. That might be a new regression, right? The amount of regressions is also endless, right? Faster to regressions with Epic Threadripping Ryzen. Here, obviously, that is really sad, right? We patch and quirk and sit here each day and night, literally each midnight. Recurring theme, you see this in the T2 changelog, var adm logs to Firefox. That also, did I cancel that? Darn. Why? Or is it? Oh wait, are we building this? But I can tell you already now, because we run the build, we run the ship it script, which is why it rebuilt. But it's erroring out with a really stupid thing of redefining double_t in libm. What they have apparently some libm there. I would need to research whether is it a bug that it's building some internal libm, or does it always do that? Actually, we could probably check with x86 64. Does it build that for the 32-bit variant? There is some libm somewhere of libm. No, I don't think it's libm DNS. No. So yeah, it could also be that it is a bug. Maybe it's detecting some libm support not. Maybe it thinks it needs to build that, or didn't reach that. Yeah, so much to rerunning the build here. But anyway, maybe it's a simple thing. It looks like, so there is some, is it in, so yes, this is some conflict with system header of glibc probably that is defining it. So some system header is defining it defined double to double_t, and this libm of Firefox is defining this to long doubles. Like, yeah, the question is, maybe I don't ship Firefox for 486, maybe we simply YOLO whatever this ISO without Firefox, because the last time, it's on my to-do list, the last time I tried 486 Firefox, it was segmentation faulting. Anyway, I think it was segmentation faulting. Either it was infinite looping or segmentation faulting. I think it was segmentation faulting in libatomics of, yeah, because atomic operation on 46. So, but it could always be that upstream regressions magically fixed itself. So yeah, maybe I give it like 5 minutes. Maybe if like 5 minutes at midnight I can change this type def and it builds, and maybe otherwise, yeah, I said it before. The reason I do this, I think there is more value in supporting 486 and other vintage retro, like for microcontroller and whatnot, or other vintage X11 stuff than Firefox on a 486, 586, 686. It's so dog slow on a dual gigahertz machine. It's probably, yeah, Firefox. Which else did we? Did I ls on all errors, or maybe not? Maybe I did. Maybe it did tab complete. So pro tip: let's or adm logs of error. What else did we have there? Mesa errors. Oh darn! That is really sad. Also, what S390 glibc errors out now? That previously did. Okay, that is. Yeah, that is the thing. Also Neos 2. Maybe I should simply not build desktop or Xorg for Neos 2, or what is Microplace. So yeah, we have some random stuff, which is unfortunate. And this random stuff is a general. So basically we could ship it, except this random stuff. What is going on here? Install error of bad value final bin utils assertion failure of what the heck? Nah, thank you very much. What was it? Microblaze. So that was, I thought I downgraded something. Maybe I didn't commit something there. What do we have? CMake. This is a recurring. Yeah, maybe I simply disable CMake cross compilation for now, and we look for some better solution in the future. What's going on here? That might be something upstream. Let's. It failed to apply. That is always some easy thing to try. Then this would be risk. Let's see if that builds live on this channel, and then I rush to the family. What is in, was risk 64 similarly affected, or Linux? Why does this now? This could also always be some. Yeah, this is with our GPU power off. Okay, this probably, I would think, so it might also be an easy thing, so maybe upstream now, which would be nice, obviously. Let's try that too. Nothing like warming the office with a Ryzen 5950X with a load average of 250 or something. What else do we have going on? Vim, so this stuff is building. This is not building, so maybe there is more required. So non-void control reaches end of non-void function error. So this is a Vuetex. So this is maybe after all. Yeah, so this Vuetex. So maybe this needs rediffing. Unfortunately, so much to more that is. Then, yeah, nothing like rediffing a handful of patches at midnight. Recurring theme. This is basically a quick overview, and the other stuff we have. We should test this though, but otherwise we have KBD. So my thinking there is, previously I disabled this. Notech has re-enabled this because he was like, hey, where's my keyboard mapping? And also setting keyboard key mappings, I changed this. This sounded a little bit superfluous. Also, what I did here now is, first of all, I changed LSL. This is like crazy. You don't pass LSL stuff like that. No idea. Yeah, vintage code. Of course, ReadLink. Also, this implies you need ReadLink. So we should have ReadLink in the system. So the thing is, so if you run this KBD, some of those either KBD RAID or probably it was KBD RAID or something on Sun Spark Linux or Hewlett Packard Precision Architecture Linux, that kernel, oops, for me that wasn't nice. I changed this here now too. So the new thing is, if you don't want the stuff to run, because some people obviously want the stuff to run by default, then simply don't set a keyboard mapping or keyboard RAID stuff. So if the stuff is empty, so that is a new convention of combining, having it working for normal people and not having it run for Sun and HPs, then don't configure it. If it's empty, then it's not supposed to run. As a workaround, of course, ideally, someone please patch the Linux kernel, because no kernel, whether monolithic or micro, should oops on keyboard stuff. So on Hewlett Packard, this was some chipset stuff. What was it? Dino or so? Something like that, whatever the chipset on Hewlett Packard Precision Architecture was. I'm also pretty sure that never oopsed on Sun for 15 years, so that is a new regression. It's, 2021 and stuff. So also the stuff wasn't properly indented there, so I touched that, unfortunately. This is, I think we need the stop block. I'm not sure, so this is a little bit superfluous also, because it's printing, like flushing keyboard mappings. Like seriously, why flush keyboard mappings on reboot? It's like totally silly. I have no idea why it's there, it makes no sense, but I don't want to touch it now because I only changed this from keyboard key mappings to keyboard mapping to be symmetric there, and it makes no sense. It should be deleted. The problem is, if we delete it, I already know from experience, of course, this will fail on stop, because then it's like it doesn't have a stop on shutdown. Ideally, this should be entirely removed, but it's not important, maybe next year, but if this triggers you, fill a GitHub request, otherwise I might forget about this. So that is the plan for that. I commit this after testing, and we had also the stone module. So that is in the next release, you have also, I touched here this typo or whatever, something. Hopefully that is not a typo. And similar here, if you don't, so if a locale is, I think yeah, so if a language is configured, then we run locale dev, that is new, so to have this locales set. Okay, this builds now, this reduces, so we can certainly commit this RISC-V 64 stuff already. What do we have here? That status of extra env, not even, I need to review. Okay, there's some leftover stuff. Anyway, I think we didn't use that, so that would be superfluous, hopefully RISC-V unmatched patch, whatever, something, it's deleted. So that's basically the summary. We are nearly there. Most stuff is building, except, yeah, if you compile so many variants, then there's always something failing, of course. Let's see, Dr. Schubert writes, symbols error, typical C problem one. Also, yeah, one would also think that this stuff, like in 20 years, the people came to some conclusion, and probably that failed potentially by now. The only thing is I'm only building this parallel 8 because 32 threads, but we have only 96 gigs of memory. We had this previous video deadlocking with memory overcommit with too many tempfs builds here, which is why I reduced that. Previous videos. Let's see if we have already x80s. So first of all, those we have RISC-V we will do. What is with S390? That was, I'm pretty sure, just building previously. Why dmlog? Why is this now? Or did we control C that unrecognized opcode? What the freaking heck? Are you kidding me? That also, I'm pretty sure, was working until what? Why was this building last month? You can't make this seriously. Oh man. Yeah, but maybe that is still building with 8 jobs. And this, what load do we even have? Only have a load. Okay, we started some builds now, so okay. But that was build x86. So yeah, the crazy thing is, as you see, each time you are done, something breaks. Fire, also 2. Firefox best with, oh come on. Where's my Firefox? Logs. WebKit GTK? What? Why is WebKit GTK? This is x80. This was the wrong build. That is why. Yeah, Firefox failed, and also warning applying unsupported location type debug info. Yeah, but the real error is supposed to be this one here. Conflicting declaration type double T of previous. There was this. Yeah, fdlib. So yeah, mass privates, like, yeah, it needs some guru meditation. Maybe we are lucky, but the problem is always if you just remove it and the long stuff, maybe for x86, it could even build and then like error on, like randomly break on runtime. Not that it would have worked previously, but so okay, it is also building that. Also, is it building that, or I don't have here any other output on the x86 on the 64-bit build. So we could quickly check with what's that even? Mozilla Central of why do we have that there at all? Use what to prevent performance reasons currently doesn't use cross doesn't use cross-platform stuff, using only for other more esoteric functions like what? Results in different web audio fingerprints. Are you freaking kidding me? Performance set on Windows as a platform standard. Recommends, does not require. The more you know, the more you don't want to know. Yeah, so there's that. So, okay, that is a thing. I will try the next time I have 5 minutes. I will try that. I probably should start rsynching the ISOs, the stone module and the stone module and the profile language change need testing. Also, why does this fail? And it's a last minute release. Also because regressions and hello, where is? I mean, this. It is possible I killed some build away. Maybe I killed this away, or not sure. I don't instantly see an error though. Because earlier I wanted to abort some builds and oh wait a second. Oh no, we probably it shouldn't be Control-C because we just rebuilt this and I have to rush. So no, it's not Control-C. There is some real error somewhere. I really don't appreciate if with like searching for error you don't find the freaking error. Here. MK image, so ITB. Okay, this makes sense. That is a regression from our side. I changed for what was it? So yeah, you changed something to make some things better. Right, the ARM. So I changed the kernel make stuff to. Previously we had hard coded for all architectures which image to build, and we were missing some. And also it was repetitive. So for maybe ARM or something, maybe for the M1N1 native ARM Linux build, I changed that, and basically I cleaned this up to simply build the default. I think also, actually I think the main reason was I wanted to have the device trees built, and for the I needed the device trees. So because we had an explicit target that was working previously, the device trees, we didn't make a device tree target. So that is why I changed this. It greatly simplified that. It built more, it built the device trees, and now we see, as per usual, pro tip, if you generically improve something, stuff will break. Obviously, right, testing, more testing, which we do here 24/7 live on this channel. And so yeah, now we need to deal with that. Maybe so multiple solutions, explicit make target for MIPS little endian, or maybe better, maybe we patch the default. If apparently that might. Oh no, we did not yet build. Okay, you know what? Let's continue this build here and let's like touch. What do we have here? Bin utils, need to check that. What is this? Oh, this is also MIPS. Don't tell me. So let's step over that for testing of Neos. And okay, Linux size was undeclared what? MIPS 64 just. Ah, this was that. What was NEOS 2? And do we have another? I think there was another WebKit failure or uClipsy OpenRISC CMake. Alright, this bloody CMake. Just to get some overview which other architectures have the same problem. That what did we just open target OpenRISC uClipsy. So just to get an overview which other targets we need to patch on a first glance. But yeah, also I said this before, I'm not a fan of requiring the latest matching architecture specific uClipsy. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily even boot that specific, yeah, MIPSL. I guess Grub2 has Longson. Is Longson MIPSL? Anyway, probably it is, maybe it is. But yeah, this U-boot MK image. Anyway, that is a summary. We are in the last days. It will be a 30th of December or 31st, so last minutes of 2021. That is the rushed summary of that build. Nearly there. But again, it's a combination of our ambitions of supporting all the stuff very few other people do, and upstream regressions. Obviously, I need to rush. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to support all the stuff like SGI Impact, PS3 and other fun stuff, you know, the usual Patreon, GoFundMe and YouTube membership stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you for the next videos and final release.